can be very painful to think back through our linear workflows where we come from a world of doing some content work and handing it off to a UX designer to mock up in a wireframe of some kind and handing it off to a designer to make it pretty and then handing it off to a developer to put it into code. And in this world, there's a lot of pain. And that pain stems from the idea that we're being forced to make decisions before we have all the information. And one thing that we believe is that we want to wait for the last responsible moment to make those kinds of decisions. And that means, in the end, we want to move the whole forward instead of the parts. And so responsive web design has kind of forced this on us. In fact, it's really just the amount of tiny browsers that exist now. And we want to find ways to communicate how a design will change across viewport widths. We want to find ways to trust the people that we work with to make really good decisions about the design and the UX and how the content will be prioritized. Coming from a world of constantly changing requirements, building something that's more flexible at its core means that we'll have much more ability to know that the end product is actually going to work, even though the landscape is constantly moving. And we also often come from organizations that are structured based on the disciplines that we use to build stuff on the web. And so finding a way to restructure our organization can be painful, but also can be hugely beneficial when we realize that a small surgical team with all disciplines involved can make much more rapid progress than a series of compartmentalized teams that all have their end deliverable, which is not the big deliverable in the end. Finding a way to work in a more collaborative way is going to be hugely beneficial, alleviate a lot of those pain points. In my UX Immersion workshop, I'm going to be showing you how to embrace a more collaborative workflow and, in the end, build better products.